I hear a lot of Stones fans say that they don't really listen much to early Stones or the Brian Jones years. I have to admit that there was a time when the Brian Jones era was in my blind spot as well, but I decided I would change all that. So I took a lot of the music from this period, like the first few albums and also the London singles collection, and really immersed myself in the music. And I walked away with a huge respect for this period, and I learned a few things too. First, Brian Jones was quite the wild card of the group. He was a sensational multi-instrumentalist, or as the band would say, a colorist, because he would add quite beautiful colors and atmosphere to some great songs. I mean, take a look at some of his incredible contributions. That main riff on The Last Time. The dulcimer on Lady Jane. The marimbas on Under My Thumb. The mellotron on 2,000 Light Years From Home. Tons of guitar slide work, like on No Expectations. Brian Jones was sort of like a Swiss Army knife. He could contribute a variety of different sounds for a variety of different songs, which made him a crucial part of the band during this time. Second, as much as people like to label this period the Brian Jones years, I think it should also be called the Bill Wyman years. Bill Wyman comes through very well during a lot of these songs, and it really blew me away. There are many times where he's hard to pick out, but when he does pop out of the mix a bit, it's really cool stuff. I love the bass on I Want to Be Your Man, just really thumping and really active. Or another one, the song Little by Little, some great movement here and really bouncy, which is his trademark. Another thing I got to appreciate was that this was the beginning stages of the Rolling Stones. This was ground zero of the band starting out. This was the first incarnation of the band. And so many things changed after this, but then a lot of things started and began right here, which makes this period so fascinating. If you're a fan of whatever era of the Stones, I think there's a lot to enjoy here because you're looking at the roots, you're looking at the seeds, you're looking at things blossoming. Things might be a little different than what you're used to if you're used to the 70s albums or the 80s or 90s albums or Hackney Diamonds. But that's what makes this period so special. You're looking at the inner core of the band. While revisiting this period, I began to realize what it was that kind of gave me a roadblock to a lot of this music for the longest time. And that has to do with the audio quality, the sonics, the audio fidelity. A lot of these songs are, to say the least, inconsistent. I mean, it's kind of shocking, the quality of some of these recordings. I mean, there are 1950s recordings that sound better than a lot of these recordings, which always made it very frustrating for me. You know, you listen to I Want to Be Your Man, you can't even hear Charlie, really. I mean, his snare is lost in this mud, in this gunk. And some tracks sound fantastic, sound really clear and perfect. Other tracks are just this haze and mushy mess to listen to, which could have been attributed to many things. Them getting used to working in bigger and better studios, the people they were working with not really accustomed to recording rock and roll bands, or beat groups or pop bands like this. So many reasons, which is understandable. But that's just one of the things that always gave me an issue to embrace this period, was the quality of the recordings. And so I asked that people be patient with it and look past it, because it is what it is. What can you do? And, say what you will about the audio quality, that didn't bother people then from making a lot of these songs number one hits and big successes for the band. And all these songs were incremental, getting them to bigger and bigger places. So you've got to park all that and just let the music speak for itself. The Brian Jones era, super important, ground zero. It's where it all began. It's absolutely impossible to ignore. So there's going to be a lot more video, a lot more content focused on this period for the next few weeks into the next month, because in April, we're going to be celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Rolling Stones' first album. So stay tuned and make sure you hit subscribe so you can see all the new content that's going to be coming up in the next few weeks. So more to come on the Brian Jones era. Thanks for watching Hangfire. We'll see you next time.